soaked in shampoo, cleansed in coconut bamboo-scented gloss, stood pillars of gold. I was so cross-eyed, everything came out right. I walked into a different light. Dark was a homicide of love. Red Nile blood robes and black goats, we all play in the same tub. Changing with our galaxy, angels have been born to stardust. I had my first lucid dream somewhere around then. I smoked it away over sips of coffee. I remember it feeling pleasant, like taking a shower after swimming in the strong tide. I was cleansed. Brain matter, cows, animals, lights, vampires, fire, food, cats, things that shatter, all that leaves in the night. Sunrise at the sacred lands. The deranged girl walks out of the woods into the light of the sacred ground. Walking toward the broken structure, the masked characters standing there. Voices surround. Eyes of the masked characters are exposed. Black was their favorite color. Black is truly the absence of color and the only one they've seen. White is every color in the light spectrum, absent to their eyes. Evil broke free, roaming the sacred lands without words, thoughts, feelings. Its infinite black visual exposed something pure within to mask such a black darkness within by the exposure of one's true face. The sun, the moon are one. Black and white collide in a color spectrum beyond infinite truth and beauty. A smile is shown. Deranged, lost, delirious girl wandering quietly in the lands of evil with a kitchen knife in one hand, a cigarette in the other. Spaces filled with colors of the spectrum. Masked characters. Darkness that follows beyond the light that torments. A fire guides, a fire dies. Tarot card flipped over, candle burns out, hands on the table. Into the nature's void, the rabbit hole calls. All must face the dark to enter the light, to enter the sage. We walk. The deranged girl searches mind as from day to night and night to day, dark to light, creates, finds the snake along golden pillars, sandy beaches, perfect peaches, melons, berries, flowers, a tomb, two hands touching, a cat living life, insects growing alive and well. A choice was made by such visuals to let go of the torments from the dark. Enter the rabbit hole, find a light inside. Warm colors, peace among the genocide of nature lying there naked. Clouds open up, changing as life naturally changes in its infinite directions, and a clear perception is left to the girl. Eyes open, eyes close.
Scene 2, Aliens, Volcanoes, and Chainsaws. In a sudden twist of narrative, we are transported to a world where aliens and volcanoes coexist. Their spacecrafts hover menacingly over the fiery pits, a stark contrast to the serene beauty of the alligator women. The aliens, unfeeling and mechanical, dump what appear to be souls into the heart of the volcanic eruptions. The sight is chaotic, visually stunning, and strangely beautiful, a surreal fusion of the familiar and the otherworldly. In the midst of this mayhem, a new form of rebellion takes shape. Young women dressed in outfits that are an edgy blend of punk fashion and futuristic chic emerge. They are armed with chainsaws, their faces a mask of determination and defiance. The chainsaws, instead of symbolizing violence, have become a fashion accessory, an emblem of power and resistance. They slice through the air, a dance of danger and allure. This is no ordinary fashion show. It's a spectacle of strength, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The women with their chainsaws and bold outfits are a striking contrast to the aliens and their soul-dumping ritual. Welcome to a world where the bizarre is the new normal, where chaos and beauty exist side by side, where fashion is not just about clothes, but a statement of identity. Let's delve deeper into this strange, captivating world where aliens, volcanoes, and a troubled and deranged girl enters a fantasy state of mind when the rabbit hole calls for her. She must face her deepest, darkest fantasies, let go of the ghost of her past before she can enter the rabbit hole to find peace, happiness, and love. On a fence bridge over top a highway of moving cars, eyes open wide of the deranged girl while her ghost lurks by her side. While mad and upset, banging her hands against the fence till nothing changes, she falls to the ground, begins to smoke and carry on about her day, walking into the nature path forest as people, creatures, masked spirits walk past her on the way out, staring. Graveyard, early morning mist, the first spirit ghost masked character is shown. Standing, then runs through the cemetery, stops holding red flowers on a grave. I had a dream you traveled to me, showed me a series of things, infinite as feeling, then I was complete, finished in the regeneration after the heat. Did we really travel to those places in my dreams to speak when the stars aligned in its sacred code, filling those spaces by the touch of a goddess? I feel like I will not know. There is hope for some creative outlet destined for gold. Deranged girl by the water out in the woods with the masked characters surround around the trees, getting closer to the girl as she walks closer to the water till she is cleansed by the waves. Masked spirits walk around the rows of the garden flowers tragically as deranged girl lays on structure with light color. As the sun rises, casting an ethereal glow over the scene, we move from the tranquility of nature to the harsh metallic edges of an industrial plant. In a bizarre twist, the voiceover begins, the pendulum of power swings unexpectedly. The scene shifts to the interior of the plant, where baby overlords dressed in miniature suits sit in oversized chairs, their faces frozen in shock. The plant, once under their reign, now bends to a new authority, the voiceover continues, as the camera pans to a large pendulum, swinging with a rhythmic certainty. Before the shock can settle, the scene is thrown into chaos again. Out of nowhere, dragons, symbols of power and freedom, are kidnapped. The camera follows a group of crypto pirates, their faces hidden behind digital masks as they corral the dragons into digital cages. In the midst of all this madness, the voiceover adds, the camera pulls back to reveal the deranged girl from the previous scene. She stands at the edge of the plant, her eyes wide as she watches the scene unfold. The scene ends with the girl standing alone in the quiet aftermath, the plant in the background. As the dust settles, the voiceover concludes, the deranged girl is left to ponder the meaning of this strange event, a stark contrast to the peace she found in nature. One day when I was about 8 years old, I was awakened by a faint, sweet whisper. That sweet whisper was music. I turned to the bedroom window, the frantic leaves quickly changing their color on the sun-kissed rays of light greeting me. I heard a song in my head playing the rich tone, and the notes danced with my senses. I played a new melody that plucked the strands of my curly hair and made my heart throb with a majestic, inspired glow. It was almost paranormal the way a new habit formed. Like the trees I grew up climbing, I felt really good inside, and those feelings came out in my voice when I sang. When I created a beautiful sound, I knew I had a unique special ability or talent, and that was music. I remember feeling the energy in the forest when I would sing to it. I heard the forest as an instrument playing musical sounds along with me. Each shaky branch made music in their natural place and taught me a kind of gospel about all the cosmic forest children. The gardens of sound enchanted my every thought. Although I could feel the vibrations released from my Adam's apple, the sounds that my lips held were simply not enough. As if in response, my spirit navigated its way through the sounds of space and time, opening up my heart to the sounds as soft as a river wave, tapping into the spiritualized mind eagerly, every tap and rhythm that clung to my memory. It was that sweet music that awoke me with its melody. The vibrato from my voice rang through the forest forest, and I remember feeling a spinning force. I felt in me everything that could dance like fire, dance like wind. Once the energy from the forest gospel leaked its way into my skin, all I wanted to do was sing and dance. After I created a song to sing, I ran with a smile, excited to perform this new wave of sounds to a beautiful family of sisters that chant all that is wrong in the sugar-coated days. I remember it clearly when I began to play these new whispering melodies that had come from the feelings I kept so close. They all became quiet. They sat and chanted, clenching their Barbie dolls with greasy fingers that were doused in glitter. It took their mesmerized brown eyes to make me realize I had found something true and pure, like the stars Apollo dreamed.
Is it ever justifiable to use torture in the pursuit of justice and safety? A question that has sparked intense debates and divided opinions across the United States. In the year 2004, the Associated Press launched a poll probing the American public's stance on this contentious issue. The poll asked whether using torture to extract information from suspected terrorists was justifiable. Surprisingly, a majority, 53% to be exact, declared that torture was rarely or never justified. This was a mere 3 years after the traumatic 9/11 attacks, and yet the sentiment held firm. It was during this period that George W. Bush, then president, had sanctioned a system that allowed the use of torture to garner information from suspected terrorists. This was part of his declaration of a global war on terrorism. This marked a pivotal moment in the history of the United States and indeed the world, as it brought the issue of torture to the forefront and polarized public opinion. The United States government is notoriously tight-lipped about the details surrounding the use of torture. Information about its legality, the methods used, and the results it yields is tightly guarded. Despite this, journalists, political reform groups, and other interested parties strive to uncover these details. The Associated Press, in particular, has been instrumental in bringing such critical information to the public. To sum up, the debate on the use of torture in the United States has seen a significant shift since the 2004 poll. The public opinion has been divided, with a majority initially opposing the use of torture. However, the government's stance and actions have often contradicted the public sentiment, leading to an ongoing debate that continues to influence policy and legislation. The secrecy surrounding the use of torture only adds fuel to this debate, with various groups seeking transparency and accountability. This complex, the issue of torture, its justification, and its effects on society remains a contentious topic in the United States. The dialogue continues, with new perspectives and information constantly emerging, shaping and reshaping the debate. As we move forward, the question remains, how will this debate evolve, and what will its implications be for the future of justice and security in the United States?
In the throes of madness, a girl stands alone on a fence bridge. Her eyes, wide with terror and confusion, dart around as her phantom companion lingers ominously by her side. Frustrated, she pounds her fists against the cold metal fence, but the world remains unchanged. Exhausted, she collapses to the ground before picking herself up to venture into the forest, passing an array of peculiar beings and masked spirits. Her journey leads her to a misty graveyard at the break of dawn. A masked figure materializes, clutching red flowers, and darts through the cemetery. The flowers find their resting place on a lonely grave, and the stillness of the morning is broken only by the rustling leaves and the distant cries of forest animals. As the girl strolls by a tranquil lake, the Masinias Hodrij, the masked figures from the forest begin to close in. Unfazed, she walks towards the water, allowing its cleansing waves to wash over her. The figures vanish, and she finds herself alone once more. In a garden blooming with life, deal with life's hidden articus carabim, she reclines on a structure adorned in a light fur coat. Her eyes sparkle with a mixture of fear and excitement. The masked spirits roam the garden, their movements echoing the tragic beauty of the flowers. The journey continues, and she finds herself immersed in a bubble bath. The vibrant colors and flower petals dance around her, and as the water drains, she emerges anew, cleansed and reborn. In the company of the masked figures once more, they partake in a ritual of smoke and mystery. Through the haze, she recalls her first lucid dream, a memory she had tried to dilute with coffee and smoke. This deranged girl, haunted by her past, traverses through her darkest fantasies, confronts her deepest fears, and emerges on the other side. It's a journey of self-discovery, of letting go, and of finding peace. Through the looking glass and back, she finds not only happiness and love, but also herself.
In the realm of the unseen, and where there exists an organ of creation, a symbol of life and fertility, the uterus. It's an intricate masterpiece, ultra-detailed, photorealistic, its beauty radiating in the glow of volumetric lighting. It's the wonder trending on ArtStation, a testament to the power of octane render. Yet there's a stark contrast, the allure of cigarettes, an emblem of rebellion, of nirvana, a symbol of a generation lost in the haze, but it's a destructive force, a storm against the crystal power of life. In the cosmic dance, the spirit navigators guide ooze, a swirling, hyper-realistic symphony of existence. It's an orgy of colors and emotions, a crazy, passionate dance of life and death, beauty and decay. In the end, we return to the beginning, to the womb of the universe, bathed in the beautiful volumetric lighting, a testament to life's intricate, ultra-detailed, photorealistic journey. This is the cycle, the ebb and flow of existence, the dance of the universe in 8K resolution. Loop in, loop out. The dance continues, the story unfolds, the universe spins on. Step back in time to the 1950s, an era of poodle skirts, slick back hair, and the birth of rock and roll. But beyond the sock hops and soda shops, another revolution was underway. The world began to dream of a future filled with amazing technological advancements. As the years rolled on, this vision of the future evolved, becoming more audacious. The dream of robots in every home became a common motif, sparking the imagination of countless inventors. Picture a scene where a sophisticated robot wife prepares dinner, an image pulled straight from a 1960s science fiction novel. The decades following brought even more fantastical ideas. Imagine if you will, flying cars zipping through the skies, bypassing the traffic below, a concept that seemed like pure science fiction, now teetering on the precipice of reality. Fast forward to the turn of the century when our concept of the future began to shift once again. The dream of a peaceful, technologically advanced future was replaced with a vision of a dystopian underworld, a place where Nazi puppets danced in a macabre mockery of our darkest history. Yet, even in the face of such bleak imagery, we found reasons to celebrate. Picture a family gathered around a Thanksgiving table, their laughter echoing through the caverns of the underworld, a testament to the indomitable human spirit. In the early 2000s, the world was treated to John Martin's Apocalypse, a stark contrast to the zombie bikini babes bathing in the sun. Suddenly, the line between fiction and reality began to blur. However, the world of infomercials remained as surreal as ever. Picture the absurdity of a 1-800-buy-a-wife commercial. a testament to the bizarre and often humorous side of our consumerist culture. And finally, we arrive at the present day, a world where a Pegasus spice might fly over the remnants of 9/11, a poignant symbol of hope amidst tragedy. Through this journey, we've seen how our vision of the future has evolved over time, from the innocent dreams of the 1950s through the surreal imaginings of the late 20th century to the complex and often contradictory visions of the present day. Each era brought with it new dreams, fears, and possibilities, shaping not only our perception of the future, but also our understanding of the past. It's a testament to the power of imagination and a reminder that the future is always a work in progress.
It's a dead city. 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 The deadest city in town. Dead City Film Fest. Dead City Film Fest. Dead City. It's the deadest city in the fucking town. It's the deadest city all around. It's a fucking dead city. It's Dead City Film Fest. 2024 going on 2025.
AI is whatever you want it to be, so I think that it's important that you should tell it something. I have no idea exactly where it's coming from, but everything is connected in some way. Hi, I'm Jeffrey. I'm the person that created this, and I'm also the person that is also in the internet. If you thought that the images were interesting, it's because somehow the computer knew how to translate what I put down. Other than that, I am far out into space, and yeah.